What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim. Just calling back an expedition here. This is not one that we watched. This is another one altogether, just to try and get some resources or whatever it may be or not be that they do get. Got a couple of injured ones there and not enough points to save them. Though I just did heal the last one, so it doesn't look too bad. But they are obviously coming back because they are out of food. And that's quite important, so we'll bring them back. So looking at the gas there, I can see that I'm using 10. Sorry, I'm producing 10 and I'm using 15, so that's not enough. So I'll just get a few of the gas mines down and once again do what I'm not supposed to do, but I'm doing it anyway. And I'm spamming them around where the areas that they can get me some more gas. I should, and hopefully will, follow up after them with the engineering huts so that they don't fall to pieces. But I think, to be honest, in some instances I actually just, when they start to fall down, I just knock them down and tell them to rebuild them. I'm not going to say it's cheaper, but it's quicker. And there you can see the unobtainium extractors. When they're finished, that's all they do. So they get the 5 from there, from the ground. That monolith gets completely eaten. And then the building's useless, so you can just knock that down, get your resources back for the building, or some of the resources back for the building, and the unobtainium is already obtained. It doesn't show in your bar down at the bottom. Yes, it does. I can see it right there in the middle, but I couldn't see it in game. So you can see down there at the very bottom, in the middle, 24. So that must mean that we are one off completing another monolith as well, because they are in 5s. As far as I'm aware, they're all 5. So you could just see, we're going to rip the building down, then recover the resources, and that is that for them. Once you've run out on the planet, I guess you've got no more left. Whether there's some on the moon or not, I couldn't tell you. I'm pretty confident there's more on the other planets. But again, that's not happening until, I believe it's the 22nd of December, which is the 1.0 release, official release of the game, no longer in early access. And this is how you make the nuggetoids. So you can see you can make 5 at once. They require 1 unobtainium and 4 electronics per. You use the plus and down arrow to select how many you want. They take 1 minute and 10 seconds each. And then just remember, because I forget, to click start production, otherwise nothing will happen. And they'll start being made, and that's it really. Top right corner you will see where you've got the children. An additional icon will be added there, a yellow one that shows how many clones you have. We are very close now to having the airport area cleared, so the last couple of trees I will remove myself. I did do a bit of a mass remove with the holding down of the button, and I used about 500 creator points to do so, just to clear out the space to get this started. It doesn't require much resource for the airport, it just requires a lot of space. So I suppose if you was to build it somewhere where there isn't a lot of trees, the process wouldn't be that painful, but for me it was. Again, we're out of planks, as you can see at the bottom, and I've just noticed as well in game. So I do build an additional 2 or 3 sawmills. Not sure if I caught that, but I have done it. So just to know, that number will start increasing as soon as they are complete. So as you can see, I'm going to spend the points here on the fish items, the food items, to get the ones I said I wasn't going to do, just because I've got 160, and actually because of all the universities and schools I've got, I'm not struggling for them points. So I will use them, and I might as well max out best I can. Moving on to, we've just finished that lunar colony that allows us to build the lunar building. So we'll move the research on, get the transportation pods. That's 100 points, but we can afford that as well. Then the planetary one and the INMB-1 and the 2. They increase the robot's speed and longevity as well as their carry capacity. So the next one is these 3 things, which are cloud seeding. They're 3 different options on how to terraform a new planet or body. I haven't picked them yet. I'm not sure. I don't think that was a choice. I think you could pick all 3 of them, but I'm not sure. Normally when it's a choice, they're white, so I'm not 100% sure, but we'll get there. Again, looking at this hypertube, This might be the time that I do it, and I build it like across the... Yeah, it is. This is where I build it from. So I build it across the planet. Half-arsed, because I don't understand the logic. Basically, what you want to do is you move it across, and you click. Every time you click, you can put a piece down. I think you have to drag it and do it in one piece, and that's why I screw it all up. But I could do it for there, for example, and then turn. But instead I decide to build one across the planet. I'm not entirely sure why or what, because I've never used them before. But certainly in the future I'll know that I can use them to connect the main city to the other areas, because there is a lot of travel happening that's unnecessary, and this will solve that problem. Okay, so over at the Nuggetoid factory, the Nuggetoids have been completed, so we can take a look at them very shortly. The easiest way to find them actually is just going onto your... There you go. You can see them in there. They don't require food, they don't require water, and they don't have birthdays. But what they do look like is that. Honestly, it's like a flat Rubik's Cube, as I said it was. And as you can see, they're a little bit slow at the minute. They're about as... well, they're a little bit faster than a normal Nugget. But the two upgrades that I mentioned, one of them is the speed, and then they are as fast, if not faster, than the Nuggets in their vehicles. So it's definitely a massive upgrade. And remember, these don't need to eat or drink. Top right hand corner, you'll see now I have actually got the yellow icon of Nuggets, and they are on this 3, and that shows the drones. Or yeah, drones, not clones. Clones are counted as actual Nuggets. Knocking down another unobtainium extractor, and you can see at the bottom we've got 20. We used 5 for the ones we already have produced. You can see again in the top right corner in yellow 4, and the 5th one is currently being made, so that'll be the 25 that we managed to harvest altogether. That line going across the world there, just literally right across the half of the planet, is the hypertube building thing. I don't imagine that's going to be done anytime soon. It needs 450 plus, it might be 460 steel, so practically all of our steel, but it might be worth it. I don't actually know. Still got to find out. And the airport is looking like it is 20% build. All of the resources are there though, so we're just waiting on the Nuggets to finish it. And with the magic of editing, I've just created another 5 Nuggetoids there, but you can see the airport is complete, and that is our first aircraft about to take off. Again, I'm not entirely sure I understand what it does, if anything. There he goes. He's going to go right under my chin. And goes nice and high. Obviously can't go as high as me, because I mean I can leave the planet, but never mind. And there he goes. I have built another airport almost exactly on the opposite side of the planet, just in case that's the thing. I don't know if it is, and I haven't actually followed a plane to see if they go there yet. I don't think actually it was the actual second airport was built in time, so I'll have to look into that and let you know. If you already know, of course, tell me please, because I don't. Right, now moving over to some of the space stuff, the big boy stuff. So the Cosmodrome is the building that you use to build the rockets and send them. It also allows you to add the goods into the different rockets. The spaceport, I'm not 100% sure. You use it to build vehicles and various other things. Both of them are ginormous. Both of them are expensive to build. So I'm trying to find a way. I do like to try and use the roads where I can, but unfortunately it's not always possible. So I believe I turned that one, I was going to say 90 degrees, but apparently I did it like 180 degrees, whatever. So that can go there. There it goes. Doesn't need a massive amount of resources, it just needs a lot of build time. And a lot of space in terms of footprints. Again, if you're doing a much smaller, look at the size of that. I mean the airport was big, granted, but it's crazy, and I don't even know what it does just yet. So that's yet to be established. But yeah, the the whole point of these is to move into space, right? And that's what we want to try and do. I've just took down a holy ground there and there the other side, just to try and get some housing, some residential growing around them sort of areas to allow people to move in that are closer. You noticed on the side there somebody's died, but I'm not bothered about that. People are dying all the time, right? They've died in this fire because the building is on fire. They do put it out, but oddly, as they drive off, it jumps over to the other building. So I step in and put it out once and for all to make sure I don't lose anybody else. There is an issue again with people dying and rotting where I haven't got enough cemeteries, it would appear. So I do spam a few more of those down. I like to have 2 together just to give them chance to sort of get back collecting one while the other can go out and collect the next one. Because with the population now at 850, it's huge. That's a lot of people, more than I've ever had, and I do love seeing the aeroplanes in the background. So yeah, it's just a logistics thing, right? While they're dead on the floor, they're making other people ill, and they likely die too. So as you can see there, instead of having to micromanage it by rejuvenating to get rid of the infected zone and then pick up the person, carry them myself, which is, as you can see, what I'm doing here, I really get bored because I can never find the sodding cemeteries when I want to. There it is at the back lot. Boom. It's the only old looking building left. But that didn't work. It dropped him on the floor, which is quite gross, but we'll move on past that. I don't know why he has to take his wheelchair with him as well, or his wheelbarrow. And there's another plane flying by. I'm not sure how many planes are actually in the air, to be honest. But hopefully we'll get some clarity on that. And moving into the space age, I can't wait to see our first rocket take off. What I mentioned earlier, by the way, regarding the button in the top right hand corner that shows the buildings, confirmed that it does actually have, on the right hand side you can see upgrade button and upgrade all. So moving forward, use that. Don't be an idiot like me, clicking on every building individually each time. You can do it all in one go or one at a time, but on that option menu. So remember that. I definitely will. And again, for the 1.0, I am going to do a whole new series for that. I hope you come and join along with me and that people are enjoying this game as much as I am. I do really love the idea of it and the amount of effort that's been put into it. Just going through the ages and seeing it all from prehistoric to space is great. And the 1.0 going into space will be really fun to play. I don't believe you can replay the same world, which is why I'm starting a new one anyway. But to be honest, I'd like to start from scratch again, just to give myself just the things that I've learned and the way that I've spread things out, just do a better job of it, right? Currently, I'm actually looking for infected areas, for toxic lakes and for exiles, just to see what's causing the water to constantly be polluted. This is showing nothing. You're seeing what I'm seeing. It's just white, apart from the odd little glow from a building. So I don't understand. I can only assume that it's coming from the factories. And that is realistic, right? The factories will create pollution. It's just not showing it. And I'm a bit unsure as to if there's something I can do to counteract it. Because I can't put any more trees down. There's already the maximum amount down, according to the planet's score system. So I'm not sure what I can do to stop having to make it rain on the lakes. Whether 1.0 will change something or make something clearer, or whether I should just stop being lazy and probably Google it. That might be an idea, eh? So flying over, you can see one of the hot air balloon places finished there, but then I got sidetracked by the sport car. I know it's not that relevant, and it doesn't really mean anything in terms of the game. I don't think he can, or she can, move faster than anybody else that's not in a sports car. I just like the amount of detail they put into it, right? There's a little telephone there at the side of the road, and dumpsters and traffic lights and street lights, and another sports car doing a wheelie there. It looks like a souped up mini type thing. That thing in front looks like a DeLorean from Back to the Future, and then a pickup truck. Just admiring the art, really. And I believe from the patch notes for 1.0 there is a lot more art to come that they have put in. So again, something exciting for me. Looks like somebody's dead there, but they're not. They're actually just picking up some rubbish, it looks like, or some resources. And cemeteries are being built, and as you can see, this lake again, 25% polluted. Unsure where from. I've checked all the stats, and there's no pollution being created. There are random, you can see in the background, a random cloud that's green. That is acid rain that causes the pollution, for sure. But it's not actually gone over, or is going to go over, this body of water. So how that transmits, I'm still not sure. To counteract the acid rain or the polluted rain, I don't actually know. I tried to make it normal rain at the same time. That doesn't seem to do anything. The dome will work to a point, and it will certainly stop the nuggets. There we go, nearly did it. From getting sick as it goes over them. But you can normally find that you get spammed in your bottom right, where you get all your warnings. You get spammed on people are getting sick, and that's where they're basically stood under acid rain. So you can always use your alarm as well to get them in the bunker. That will, of course, keep them out of reach of the acid rain. But it won't stop it polluting your water that you have to fix. But don't bother fixing it until the actual rain has passed, of course, because that's just counterintuitive. And over to the nuggetoids. As you can see, look at him go. Look at them go. Just as fast, if not faster, I'm not sure. But as I said, that is the upgrade of the movement speed. And that is a worker that never stops, never sleeps, never eats, never drinks. I'm not going to say never dies. I believe they don't die. I'm reading up on them. It doesn't look like they do. All you have to do is keep letting them charge up, right? And that's it. So they are definitely better than the nuggets, but of course the nuggets breed and create more. So, and unobtainium isn't infinite. Here is a perfect example of the acid rain, and it making people very ill. Again, the acid rain or polluted rain is caused by pollution on the planet, which I haven't really got any. And there you go. I've just replaced it with normal rain in the hopes that that will do something. It doesn't. Again, really the best thing to do if you're going to get acid rain like this is to bunker down, or just get ready for, as soon as it ends, you can go through and just heal all your nuggets. Again, you can see me looking there. The pollution and the atmosphere, each of those segments that are numbered 1 through 5 and 1 through 4 actually give you what happens. So the higher it is, the worse it gets. The lower the atmosphere is, the worse it gets. Both of them are good, right? The pollution is very, very low, and 4 out of 100 is nothing. And the atmosphere is 99 out of 100, which is fantastic. So everything is good. There's no hindrance, and I really don't understand what actually is the problem. Or is it just how the game is, and it's just me overthinking it? I'm not sure. But now I can get everybody healed up. And hopefully, as long as I don't run out, which I look like I have done. If you run out, then that idea don't work. But usually I don't struggle with creative points, but every now and again you get a bit of a bundle. One thing I have noticed is keep an eye on them, because if you have a lot, like the maximum you can have is 1,000, and you use a lot quite quickly, it seems to stop going up. I don't know if it's bugged it or balked it or whatever you want to call it, but just keep an eye on that and then restart the game, and that fixes it. So for the Cosmodrome, you can see here now you can do 3 things on the filters. You can move nuggets or drones, you can move resources, and you can move buildings. There is a specific amount of things you need to take. I didn't know at the time, obviously. It does have a maximum capacity also. So you want to take a few buildings, some nuggets, and some resources to start you out on the moon, or on different planets when you get to that area. As you can see, as you add things, it creates it tells you how many resources it's going to use, plus how much weight on the rocket is going to use. Now, I'm not going to bore you with watching me go through all of this, because after I'd finished thinking what I wanted, it actually gives you a strict guide about what to take, and that will be when we actually launch the rocket, which will be the next episode. This one is now at time. So, thank you very much for watching. If you like the videos, please click like, subscribe for more. Take care. Thank you again. Goodbye.